Hi everyone, how's it going? My name is Desiree, and what I have for you today is a mindful practice to help manage stress and anxiety. You can actually use this posture that we're going to be doing today in your classes. I feel like the modifications that we're going to be using with the blankets are not something you typically see in classes. So if you are a teacher, I think your students will really appreciate this. If you're practicing at home, just enjoying your own self-practice, then I hope you find this to be very satisfying and calming as well. What you're gonna need are two blankets, only two blankets, and somewhere cozy to practice. So when you're ready, let's go ahead and get started and get our blankets folded how we need them to be. So two blankets, you're also welcome to have more than two blankets. You're also welcome to bring in pillows and so forth, but I'm going to demonstrate this with two blankets. So we want to find these more thicker rectangular folds, and how we get there is from a fold like this, right? Oops, mine's a little short. Like this, right? So all you're gonna do is fold it once in half and once in half to get this sort of shape. So like I said, both of them will be folded like that. And before I actually have you lay down onto the ground, we're going to be placing one long ways down the center of the body, and then the other one is going to be placed over the head. So we're going to be covering the entire brow, this whole section of the head, so that the blanket will be covering the eyes, the head, everything. So you'll want to keep the folded edge down towards the face, right? So it'll kind of turn out to be like a half of a helmet. All right. So go ahead and come onto your seat, have your knees bent, right? And then lower yourself to the ground. We're gonna keep the legs bent for now. You'll have the option to straighten them later. But for now, just walk the feet wider than the hips. Take the heels out slightly, toes a little more inward, and then just bring the knees to touch. And you can walk your feet as far away from the body as possible. I find that in a pose like this, having the legs a little further is a little softer on the pelvis and the low back. So we want to just really find more of like a neutral position without engaging the abdomen too much. So just that sweet spot of having like a little bit of space between the low back and the floor. Right. And then just elongate through the sides of the body, right? And then lift the head and even elongate through the back of the neck, and then just rest the head on the floor. Now one blanket, like I said, you're gonna rest long ways going up the midline of the body. And then the other blanket is going to rest over the brow, right? Folded edge down towards the eyes. And then go ahead and take your hands as if you're covering your eyes, and then just run the hands along the blanket, right? To just really, I don't know the word I'm looking for right now, but to just snuggle the blanket around the head. And then you can rest your arms onto the ground. You can rest the hands onto the top blanket, or you can just rest the hands down onto the floor, whichever you're more comfortable with, whichever is going to give your body a more feeling of relaxation, because we're going to stay here with the knees bent for a few moments. Okay, so start to relax the body with the breath. Like even visualize the breath and the breathing pattern, just flattening out the body and just sinking it closer to the ground. Right, now the whole purpose of using the blankets and having the weight on the body, again, is to just slightly enforce that feeling of groundedness and closeness. The intention is to bring on a sense of nurturing, sense of comfort, all to relax a little deeper. and move you more into that space of detachment, more into a space of expansion, more into a space of freedom. You can still experience whatever it is that you're feeling and not be attached to it. And that's the freedom that we're trying to learn from these practices. So move through the body, soften everything from the toes to the knees, to the chest, to the crown of the head. Soften the space of the abdomen, the throat, the muscles around the eyes. Even envision the whole back of the body just getting pulled a little closer to the ground beneath you. And that whole front of the body just expanding, spilling out in every direction. It's natural that your body is going to shift, that your head may want to tilt back, that weight may want to slide more onto one side of the hips or the other. And if you can just catch those without creating too much tension and tightness in the body. And again, just move through balance and softness. You can stay with the legs bent, or you can straighten one leg at a time and extend them out. Allow the legs to roll and rotate how they naturally want to fall. And then just revisualize your breathing to just, again, expand and flatten the body and allow it to spread in every direction. Allow yourself to move closer to the ground and fall deeper into relaxation. Allow all your senses to eliminate any boundaries that separate you from the room and space around you. And you can continue to stay here as long as you'd like. Or if you absolutely have to, come up with me and start to take a deeper breath in, and allow your exhale to be as long as your inhale. Take another deep breath in. And then one more deep breath. Very slowly roll onto your side and allow your props to just fall off naturally. Press your hands into the ground and very slowly bring yourself up to a seat. Place your hands on your lap. Just take a couple more rounds of deep breaths. And then when you're ready, go ahead and open up your eyes. Thank you so much for joining me for this practice. Let me know what you think, your comments, your questions. I'd love to hear from you, and talk to you soon.